Hello friends, we're going to look at the subtraction strategy, we're going to look at it as a strategy, the algorithm. The algorithm is just based on a rule, based on place value, where you're always going to start in your ones place, then tens place, then hundreds and thousands. You're going to work yourself always right to left. You've worked with strategies where, like you did, keeping a constant difference or adding up, or place value negative numbers that didn't focus on having to do the exact same thing every time for it to work. So just realize here, if we had 243 and we're taking away 176, or 243 minus 176, I went ahead and wrote an expanded form just to make sure we're recognizing what's happening. Because technically, if I had 3 of something, can I take 6 from 3? I can't. But we have to remember, I could take 110. That means there's 30 left, or 3 tens left. I took that 110. Well, now that 3 becomes 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. So we come over here. Can I take 70 from 30? No, but I could borrow 100. So technically that's 130. 130, take away 70, 60. And then so we know the answer must be 67. Or if we didn't write it out in expanded form, we could do it and say, well, this is 4 tens. We took 1 10 away. We move the 1 10 over and make that 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. Again, we can't take 70 from 30, so we're going to borrow 10 tens from the 100. So that makes that 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. So again, we still get an answer of 67. Okay? Another way to look at it is, what if we had 573 336. Well, again, we can write an expanded form. 500 plus 70 plus 3. 300 plus 30 plus 6. And we can say to ourselves, okay, can I take 6 from 3? No, so I'm going to borrow, because I know that the 3 is part of 573. So we're going to borrow from the 10 from the 70. So 13 minus 6 is 7. Oh, nice. 60. I can't give somebody 30, so I'd have 30 left. 500 minus 300 is 200. So we add this all up, we're left with an answer of 237. Let's go back over here and double check. Again, we could say, well, I can't take 6 from 3, so I can borrow a 10. Instead of having 7 tens, I have only 6 tens. I'm going to borrow one of those tens. So 13 minus 6 is 7. Again, I could take 30 from 60. And then I can take 300 from 500. Again, I get an answer of 237. So that's the subtraction algorithm. What's nice is you can go back and use adding up, keeping a constant difference. You can use the different strategies you know to double check yourself, which is another great thing as well. Let's look at one last thing. If you had 2005 and we said we're going to subtract from that 897, let's say. And we're going to do the algorithm. Well, think about this for a second. Again, we would have to borrow because we can't take 7 from 5, but this technically says there's 200. You have 200 tens, right? And the number 2005, you have 200 tens. So if I borrowed one of those tens, I would be left with 199 tens. I'm going to borrow it here. So 15 minus 7 is 8. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. And then we still have the 1,000. So the answer would be 1,108. So just another way to think about it when you're working with zeros, it's a place value holder, but remembering what does that mean within the representation of the number. So hopefully this gives you a little structure and helps you better understand the subtraction algorithm. And remember, always go back and use the different strategies you have to check your answer.